Hey guys, M13 here, and this is a short video on manners, which is somewhat funny that I'm making it. Because I'm known as being fairly rude, and I've got people saying that I'm rude to my subscribers and whatnot. But in general, I'm either joking with my subscribers, or they honestly just said something that deserved rudeness in response, Like, people think that, just because someone gives me a little bit of support, that therefore they can, talk down to me, and I shouldn't respond and I shouldn't respond. They can be rude to me, and I shouldn't respond with rudeness just because they're a subscriber. That's kind of silly. I just treat, I'm just real with my subscriber. Like if you're a friend of mine in real life and you say something rude to me, chances are I'm going to say something rude back. Like that's how life works, and that's how I treat my subscribers, and they should appreciate the fact that I treat them like my real life friends, as opposed to other channels where if you say something rude to them, they'll just, they'll either just ignore it, or they'll just give you some kind of fake thank you or something. What was I saying? So, yeah, but in real life, it's kind of funny. I try not to upset people, if I don't need to. An example would be, I just now was at Safeway there, and I was looking for something, and I asked a woman, I'm like, where can you find this? And she's like, oh, it might be here, or it might be on this other aisle. And I'm like, okay, and then we go look at the nearby spot, and it's not there. And that's weird. I should did it nearby itself. So we go look at one spot, and it's not there, and she goes, oh, well, maybe it's on aisle 10. And then she kind of disappears, and I'm like, whatever. And then I go look at other stuff, and then she comes walking up with a bag of the stuff I was looking for in her hand. And she evidently, walked to the opposite side of the store and went searching for it. And then she gives it to me, and I realize, as soon as she gives it to me, that it's not what I wanted, and I'm not going to, it's not what I wanted, and I'm not going to buy what it is she gave it to me. But instead of saying, oh, you just wasted your time walking around the store, or most people, I'm guessing the majority of people would look at it and go, oh, no, this isn't what I wanted, and then just hand it back to her, and she just wasted, 10 minutes getting it for you to be nice, and that's not really her job. She could just tell you where it is, and you could go look yourself, but she actually took the time and went and found it for me, or what she thought was it. So I just said, oh, thank you, and then as she was walking away, I yelled thank you again, because I thought it was nice of her to spend her time to go get an item for me. And then once she was, out of sight, and then I walked back to the aisle that she got it from, and then went and searched for the spot where she got it, and then put it back in the correct position. Because I thought about just putting it back somewhere else, but then I thought, what happens if it's her that finds it, because it's her job part of their job is to find things that are put back in the wrong spots and put them back in the right spots. So I thought, well, that'd suck if it'd be her, because then she'd realize that I thanked her and then didn't buy it. So I went back and put in. But it's just things like that, just small things like that. There's so many times I see people someone will do something. That's a good example. Someone will do something nice for someone, and then the other person will respond with, oh, I didn't actually want that, or I didn't need you to help me with that, or something. It's like, they just did something nice for you. It doesn't matter if you fucking want it or need it. Just be polite, say fucking thank you, and then, walk away. In Asia, it's a big thing in Asia, especially when people offer you coffee or tea or something. Well, it's normally tea. People offer you tea, and you can't really refuse, because by offering you tea, it's they're being polite and they're welcoming you to their home or whatever. And if you're like me and you don't really drink tea, you can't just say no thanks. You pretty much got to sit and drink it just to be polite. And then, of course, some of you are going to argue, well, that's stupid. If you do blah, 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 you shouldn't be forced to, and that's, I'm not saying you should be forced to eat and drink stuff that you don't like, but to say thank you when someone helps you, and then just to wait till they go away before placing it back on the shelf or something, that's a easy way of being polite. Yeah. I don't know, I'm a please and thank you kind of guy. And, even though I'm somewhat rude. And then on the other hand, sometimes I'm just rude to people for no reason. So I'm a bit of a hypocrite. But when I'm rude to people for no reason, it's not I'm not being real, you know, like it's you know, like it's just that's an act. That's comedy. That's me just messing around, you know. I don't even know where I am anymore. I just got lost in those last few seconds. Like an example of there's a female construction worker, and she's digging something. She's laying gravel. Like an example of me being rude is on one of my videos, as you saw recently, I went horseback riding, and then our guide was just, you know, just a nice country girl, and she had red hair. And then I say to her, "So what's a nice ginger like you doing in a place like this?" Which is like rude on different levels. First of all, I'm doing this stupid "what's a girl like you doing in a place like this" line. Second of all, I'm calling her a ginger, and just because she has red hair, I'm referring to her as a ginger, which is, I think, rude. You know, like if I had red hair, I wouldn't care if people called me ginger. You know, like we've said it before. If you let it bother you, then you're the one that's causing the offense. As one of my subscribers pointed out on one of my videos, he said, "Offense is taken, not given. You take offense to something, you don't." So offense is taken, not given. It's like if you don't let it bother you, then it won't. And things about like your hair color or your ethnicity, the color of your skin, those types of things you really shouldn't let bother you. Because, you know, you should be comfortable with it. And if you're comfortable with it, then someone making a comment about it shouldn't bother you. It's like if a guy's fat and he's comfortable with his weight, then you making fat jokes won't bother him. You know, you probably know someone like that. You probably you get the odd fat guy who's like big and he just likes being big. You know, he's like, "Yeah, I'm big, I'm fat, yep, woohoo." And then you make fat jokes and he's just like, "Ha ha ha, that's a good one." You know, he doesn't give a fuck because he's comfortable with who he is. And then you get some other fat guy and you just kind of mildly comment on his weight or something, and he's like, "What? What are you saying? You saying I'm fat? Fuck you, I'm not fat. You want to fucking go? I'm just a big boned, you fucker. You're fucking insensitive." You know, obviously he's self-conscious about his weight because he's taking such a big offense. So it's the same thing with, you know, other things too. We're totally off onto a different topic now. But I'm just, yeah. So I was teasing some girl about having red hair, and then she pretty much from that point on for the rest of the tour, she pretty much didn't speak to me and kind of ignored me. So she wasn't, she evidently took offense. But yeah, that's a different topic. Yeah. So anyways, be polite, you fuckers.